Thank you and welcome to the council meeting for the night. Wow. Is there any disclosure of pecuniary interest or nature thereof? If seeing none, if one should arise, please advise us. We have five council meetings here to go over. It's for the meeting held on April 23rd, May the 14th, closed session May 28th, and meeting on May 28th, the regular council meeting. I'd like somebody to move them all at once. Councillor Jacobs, second by Councillor Thiessen. Does anybody have any questions arising from that? Seeing none, all in favor? And carried, thank you. Tonight we have a couple delegations here. I guess we'll start right now with 9.1. It's Communities in Bloom regarding a representative from council. So Mr. Wright and Mrs. Rediger, Miss Rediger, if you come forward, please.
Deputy Mayor Verbicki and councillors, I'm here to ask council to appoint a member to the Communities in Bloom Committee. As outlined in your report from administration, we have been a committee for the last 5 years, competing both at the provincial and national levels, and awarded of last year a 5 Bloom Silver. This year we're taking a pause and not competing at the national or provincial levels, but instead focusing on building the committee and monthly garden winners, which we have throughout the municipality. It's been one of the recommendations from the judges that we have a council representative on the committee. The role of the council representative would be to attend meetings, become familiar with Communities in Bloom, liaison between council and the committee, and participate in the 2020 Judges National Tour next year. And we meet monthly. We are this year, as I say, looking at the committee and committee structure and having a couple of new initiatives. One is the backyard contest, which you have a poster with you now. I just distributed out to you. And we're looking at backyards along with front yards and trying to keep Leamington green, and people who do put the work into the landscape, give them a bit of a pat in the back. And the next one we're looking at is a CIB garden in Shotton Parkway, working with your Public Works Department, and we'll be looking at that with the foundation, $10,000 Honey Foundation grant that was given. So those are a couple of our initiatives for this year. Do we have questions or answers or?
Any questions to Mr. Wright before Ms. Percy reads the report? I guess my one question is, you're on a momentum. Why did you stop this year?
Well, we've had 5 years, and some of the committee members just needed a break because they're all volunteers, they're not employees. So with volunteers, you've got to be very flexible.
That's fair.
And
Thank
keep
you.
them happy,
Ms. Percy?
so to speak.
So I'll try not to repeat any of the information that Mr. Wright has already provided, but Communities in Bloom is a well-established nonprofit Canadian organization that is committed to fostering environmental responsibility and beautification through community involvement in an annual national program that challenges communities to enhance green spaces. For a number of years, a formal Communities in Bloom committee competes on behalf of Leamington in both provincial and national level programs that are facilitated through the not-for-profit group. Communities in Bloom is not a committee of council, nor are any of its members appointed by council. As indicated, Mr. Wright, the chair of the Communities in Bloom committee, has requested a council member be appointed. He's advised that the judges have indicated that they also look for public involvement in the beautification and betterment of the community. horticultural clubs, sports and recreation clubs, service groups, municipal government, and local business involvement all score points in the overall evaluation. As noted, the role of the council representative on the committee would be to attend meetings, become familiar with Communities in Bloom, be a liaison between council and the committee, and participate during the 2020 Judges Tour. And the committee meets monthly from spring to fall. Under financial impact, in previous years, the municipality has granted the committee $3,500, although this year, due to the change in its programming, CIB altered their request and council granted $1,500. There's no financial impact to the appointment of a council member, as the member will not be compensated for participating on the committee. So I have a slight change to the recommendations in the report. The recommendation is that council approve the request of the Communities in Bloom Committee to appoint a member of council to the committee. Number 2, that Councillor Dunn and Councillor Hammond be appointed to the Communities in Bloom Committee as alternating members, and that such appointments expire on the earlier of the end of the current term of council or the term of the Communities in Bloom membership, if any.
Thank you. Before I ask the gentleman, is there any other member of council who would like to sit on that committee? I know we're all kind of busy, and I hope you gentlemen will stick it out and then work between your schedules. So if there's nothing else, could I have a motion? Councillor Jacobs? Move the appointment. Councillor Thiessen? Any other questions, comments? Welcome aboard. All those in favor? And carried. Thanks, gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to working with you. Thanks. Let's go. Oh, do you want?
I think our next meeting, it'll be June the 24th,
Monday.
on a Monday.
Thanks, Mr. Wright. Ms. Percy will give the details. Or emails to check, Bill. Okay, our next one is the Leamington Municipal Heritage Advisory Committee, Community Events Participation. Danielle, and our research assistant.
Deputy Mayor Verbicki and Council. The Leamington Municipal Heritage Advisory Committee is an advisory committee to Leamington Council with a mandate to identify heritage properties, engage and educate the community in heritage preservation, and to advise council on means of heritage conservation. The committee would like to attend municipally hosted events as well as community events with a visual display promoting Leamington's heritage. In 2017, the committee attended the Sip and Savor event with a visual display, and the committee intends to change the theme of the display in 2019. The committee would like to attend the Mill Street Market with the updated display in July, and are aiming to launch the Uptown Leamington Heritage Walking Tour in August. Heritage preservation contributes to creating a positive sense of place or the feeling of attachment to the unique characteristics of one's community. Historically and culturally rich communities benefit by higher property values and successful tourism economies. Committee members are responsible to ensure they conduct themselves in a professional manner and with proper decorum. Committee members are responsible to ensure they conduct themselves in a professional manner and with proper decorum as representatives of the municipality. Committee members attending a community event are insured against liability for actions they take while acting on behalf of or at the direction of the municipality. Costs associated with the research of properties, office supplies, etc. are for the Leamington Municipal Heritage Advisory Committee was approved as a part of the 2019 Planning Services budget. It is recommended that the council approve the participation of the members of the LMHAC in municipally hosted and local community events to increase public awareness regarding heritage conservation. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any clarification, any questions? Councillor Dunn?
To you, Deputy Mayor. Nice report, Karen.
Thank you.
I just wanted to When it comes to the representation, are we going to have name tags for all the heritage members so that we make sure that we identify who the members are?
Thank you. Yep, so we do, our committee consists of resident appointees, so they're all volunteers or committee members, so we can have name tags. Sure.
Thank you. I guess if there's no other questions, I have a question. Is the big tomato on the registry for historical value, significance? Because this can be coming up under open session tonight, so I'm just letting Rob be prepared. So is there, can you give us a brief on that?
I can't confirm if it's on. I'd have to look on the register. So we have about 270 properties, but
I
I'd have to
printed it
look.
off. I printed off the copy the last time, and I can't remember if it's on or not, but thank you. Other questions for the group? I guess a motion to receive. Councillor Dunn? Councillor Hammond, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. Is there any matters for council? Councillor Dunn, yes? No, oh, sorry. Report on closed session, Ms. Percy?
A closed meeting was held at 5:30 PM prior to the open session of the council meeting to discuss 3 matters. The first matter, confidential report CAO 0919, dated May 31st, 2019, regarding Mill Street West properties, considered in closed session pursuant to subsection 239(1)C of the Municipal Act. As a result of that meeting, the following resolution is before council for consideration. Number 1, council authorized the purchase of 40 to 42 Mill Street West for the purchase of $250,000 on the terms as described in confidential report CAO 0919. Number 2, council authorized the entering into of a lease agreement with Peter Bandman or a corporation controlled by Peter Bandman for the property municipally known as 38 Mill Street West, with a minimum rent being $10 per square foot for a term of 24 months, and including further terms as described in confidential report CAO 0919 and being in a form satisfactory to the municipality solicitor. Number 3, council authorized an option to purchase in favor of Peter Bandman or a corporation controlled by Peter Bandman for the property municipally known as 38 Mill Street West for the purchase price of $100,000, such option to extend for a term of 24 months, and such option being in a form satisfactory to the municipality solicitor, and that the Director of Legal and Legislative Services be authorized to execute all documents required to complete the above-noted transactions. You'll need a mover and a seconder.
Everybody clear? Need a motion on that? Councillor Hammond? Councillor Dunn? Any questions? All in favor? And carried. Thank you.
Second, oops, sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
Second item, confidential report LLS 3119 dated May 13th, 2019 regarding outstanding claims in Leamington versus Impens, considered in closed session pursuant to subsection 239(1)E of the Municipal Act. Council provided direction to administration on the matter. And the third item, confidential report LLS 3719 dated May 27th, 2019 regarding sale of a portion of Parkdale Avenue to be considered in closed session. As a result of that meeting, the following resolution is before council for consideration. Number 1, council authorized the transfer of the portion of Parkdale Avenue, registered plan 723, designated as Part 2 on Plan 12R 27777 to Canadian Investments Canada Inc. for the purchase price of $18,000 on the terms as described in confidential report LLS 3719, and the Director of Legal and Legislative Services be authorized to execute all documents required to complete the above-noted transfer. You'll need a mover and seconder.
Mover and second, Councillor Jacobs, second by Councillor Thiessen. Any questions? All in favor? And carried.
Proper notice of the meeting was given and the meeting adjourned at 6:04 p.m.
Thank you. Consideration of bylaws.
Bylaw 3619 being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the council meeting of the municipality of Leamington at its meeting held June 11th, 2019.
Motion. Councillor Hammond, Councillor Dunn. All in favor? And carried. Thank you. Notice of motion? Yes, I have one. Notice of motion, moved by Deputy Mayor Verbeke, seconded by Councillor Thiessen, that the council consider the possibility and reduction in size or elimination of the curb extension bump outs on a number of municipal roads, such as Danforth and Pulford, Talbot and Fox, Mill and Erie, and Mill and Fox, as presented today and will be brought up on June 25th during our regular agenda. So we'll be accepting no questions or anything now, so if you want to talk later after us, talk to one of us, and I think you already know the answer because everybody pretty much run on the bump outs. Thank you. Open session. Councillor Dunn.
To you, Deputy Mayor. First of all, I'd like to comment on the Friday night market, Mill Street Market. It was a huge success. Administration did a great job along with all the volunteers, and the community supported 110%. I was just incredibly excited to be a part of it all. It was really incredible, and I can't wait for the next one. It was a really good showing. And on a second note, the opening of the Leamington Fair, the 171st Leamington Fair, on the 14th, 15th, and 16th. So just everybody to get out, for that organization to be in operation for that many years, it just blows my mind. Thank you. That's everything.
Thank you. Councillor Hammond.
Deputy Mayor, thank you. I've been asked by the Leamington Fire Association to say thank you. Thank you to all of those that attended the fundraiser for firefighter Adam Croker, and for all of those that donated both cash and items for the silent auction. It went over very well. That was held on Friday, May the 31st. Adam is doing much better. He's had one more operation since that night, and which makes 6 now that he's had. The final totals aren't in yet, but it's somewhere in excess of $70,000.
Great. Great work to all the, we saw in the paper. All
It
the
was,
people.
a true Leamington night. Or almost 1,100 people were there, so it went over very well. So
Thank you.
thanks.
Councillor Jacobs.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Mine is more of a question of curiosity. I don't know if administration can answer me. I noticed today they were cutting a tree at Coronation and Erie Street, and I was just wondering, how do we go about doing those? Do we have an arborist go around and see what trees are to come down or to trim or whatever? Just curiosity, who could ever direct me on that one?
Through you, Deputy Mayor. We actually have a policy, a municipal policy on how we deal with trees on municipal lands. Primarily, when it comes to the health of a tree, we'll determine if a tree is dead or dying. Sometimes it's very easy. You don't need to be an arborist to determine if the tree's in trouble. Other times, trees will look healthy, but they appear to have problems, and at that time, we would hire an arborist to take a look at the tree and make a determination on that, which we frequently do. Sometimes trees, unfortunately, have to be removed simply because of infrastructure projects that we're doing. Right-of-ways are limited, and unfortunately, trees have to be sacrificed. In those situations, we always try and plant more trees than we take out. But generally speaking, we always have them looked at by an arborist.
Yep.
Do we have an arborist on staff, or do you solicit one to come in when we're like periodic inspection of trees, or what's the process?
Yes, we do not have one on staff. For those trees where we feel we would need a professional opinion, we hire somebody to do that and provide us an opinion.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Councillor Thiessen.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I've got 3 items here. The first one, I received a call today asking when they will be seeing the hanging flower pots down at the marina and in the downtown.
I can follow up, Councilor, and get back to you on that. The Public Works, the manager of Public
Okay.
Works will know those dates.
There's no scheduled date or anything yet, or not that we're aware of right now. Okay.
I think that's your timer up. So any
There likely is a date. They have all of these things planned out well in advance. I just don't have it in front of me, Councilor, but I can get that to you.
Okay, thanks. Councillor Wilkins, you okay? Okay, my only question is, you said okay, you were done.
2 more, Deputy Mayor. The second one, expanded CIP program, will we be hearing a report about that anytime soon? I've had a couple of businesses that are outside the current CIP area requesting applications.
Yeah, I guess it's through, Mr. Mayor, or Deputy Mayor. I was away for a few weeks, but James pretty well had that, James Cox is working on that. He pretty well had that done, so that should be coming before council shortly. I'll get an update for you, though, from James.
And one more. Also received a call this week about the washrooms at Mercia Park, wondering how often are they open and how often are they cleaned?
Again, council, I can get the schedule for council. During the prime season, they're open every day, but I can get daily hours of operation. A lot of that depends on when staff are working. In the summer, we do have seasonal staff on to as late as 10 o'clock, which I think ends up being the time when we close them. But again, I can provide council, the schedule on that.
Thank you, and Rob. Then, from my earlier question, I guess the status of the tomato, has anything been done? Have we hired somebody to look at it? Are we qualified to have our own internal engineers look at it? Or are we even going to look at it this year or tomorrow? Or like what's happening? Because honestly, we needed hydro Friday night for the ticket sellers. I have the combination to get in there, but I was scared to go in there because you're not supposed to go in there because we were maxed out with power. So I just didn't know what's the status.
Yes, we have engaged R.C. Spencer to take a look at the structure and provide us a report on that. We felt that it was important because it's going to be occupied by people working in there, that we have a professional take a look at it from a structural perspective and provide us a report back. So that's currently underway.
Do you know when?
When the expected report would be received?
Or if he's working on it, or like?
They're working, they've been engaged,
Okay,
so
thanks.
it's in process.
No, just to take it back to the chamber. I know Karen's here in the audience, so I just want to give her something to take back too. So thank you very much. Any other questions on our open session? Matters non-debatable. Seeing none. We've got about 3 hours left. Motion to adjourn. Councillor Jacobs, seconder. Councillor Thiessen, all in favor? Carried. Thanks, everybody, and good night.